Hello to everyone on the second channel. The swimsuit outfits for Tekken are out, and these are unique in the sense that every single character that has a swimsuit outfit has a unique design on their outfit. Now, there are problems with these, of course. For one, they are all just basically using the exact same base outfit. There's not a lot unique with them. There are also some characters, like you can see with Jin here, that are just reusing the design on his shirt, and he's just reusing his pants and then chopping it at the knee. So a lot of these are frankly pretty lazy, but I'm hopeful that this is one step towards us being able to have more unique outfits for each character in the future. With this being the first one, yeah, there are some problems with it. Yeah, I don't love everything about it, but I think that there are actually some really nice ones here, and despite the limited amount of things that they had to work with, basically just reusing assets that they already have for the characters and not drawing anything new, I think some of these came out pretty damn well. Like Honors, for instance, I think looks fantastic. I think Lili's looks good. And even some of the male characters too, I think look really nice. And then of course we have some of them like Paul's that just look horrendous. But I want to take a look at all of these today. I want to rate all of them. So, and hopefully in the future, when they continue to do this kind of stuff for, like, again, summer or Halloween or all of this, they're going to keep up this trend of having unique outfits for each character, but maybe having a little bit more variety, making them a little bit more unique. Like, again, how you see with Anna, her being the only one that has, like, that transparent texture on hers, and stuff like that. I'm really hopeful to see the future of these, and that's one of the reasons I want to look at this first rendition of them to see, like, what's good about them, what they can improve on for the future. Gunavid, shut up! Shut up! Seth, can you go to the store? It'll be easier than going to the custom. That's a good point. I'll do that. I didn't think about that. Now, I step out for a few minutes and it's turned into a Gunavid. Shut up! Can't adjust the outfit in the room. Isn't it a bit ironic that you're giving these ranks? Shut up! Oh my god, everyone's turned on me immediately. Okay, so the first thing before we get into anything here is that some of these, as we said in the beginning, like Brian's here, are just their pants, but chopped off at the knee, and that's it. And because of that, I'm going to give all of these a 1. I'm just going to go through all of them really quickly here at the beginning. All of them are getting a 1. So Brian's is a little bit less egregious, oh Jesus, than it would otherwise seem. Because I think that they did a decent job with, like, the coloring and like transferring it over. Some of these compared to the original, you can clearly tell that they're just bad, but his is still bad. Brian gets a 1. Claudio's the same thing. Claudio's is a little bit better though. I actually think that the design on this, with it being like shrunk and put onto the swim trunks, actually looks better than it does on his pants. But still, it's like it's white swim trunks with that design that's already on his pants. Nothing really unique and new about that. It gets a 1. Like, all of these are getting a 1. Turned, I've been trying to get you over to our side for almost a year now. Shut up. Next is going to be Kazuya's here. Kazuya's is especially egregious. Like, Kazuya's gets a 0. And the reason why Kazuya's gets a 0 is because if you look, oh god, where did he go? Hold on, let me reset the, oh, it just fucked off for some reason. Hold on a second. If you look at the design, there's a lot of symbolism that's in this design, because you have a Kirin and a serpent, which is supposed to represent Kazuya's, like, good side and evil side, and them at odds with each other, and that's why you see them like so normally in the normal design, the Kieran is down here and then the serpent's up here, and you see how the Kieran is looking up this way and the serpent's looking down at the Kieran. It's supposed to show the internal conflict against Kazi. It's supposed to be symbolism for that. It's supposed to have a meaning, and not only does this just kind of look bad, but a part of that meaning is just lost because they shrunk the image and then moved it up. So now instead of the Kieran looking up at the stake, the Kieran is now looking up at Kazuya's bicep. So this is a 1. This is awful. This is terrible. Who else? King? I mean, King's is really bad. King's is terrible. And the reason why is because not only is it just his default pants chopped at the knee, but also all of this that he normally has going on is textured, right? And you can really tell when you look at it that they just took that oh my god, I'm losing the word for it now. I feel dumb. But they took the image, they just copy pasted it in, and that texture is clearly supposed to hide like some of the lines and stuff on here, and it's just aliased out the ass. It clearly doesn't look like it was supposed to be like this. This is terrible. This looks awful. It's easily a 1. Then the next one is who is it? Yoshi. You'd be surprised, but this is actually the same as Yoshi's pants. This design is. And it also just, like, the other thing, too, it looked so bad with everything else, right? There is no sense of, they don't, like the swim trunks and the rest of his body do not work together. They should have changed the swim trunks, like color-wise. Even if you keep the same image and everything as the pants, you should at least have changed it so that the colors actually line up with the rest of Yoshimitsu's body. This looks so bad and so out of place. This is awful. This is a 1. It looks terrible. And then you have the DLC characters. So you have Eddie. I don't even think I need to do the camera on this one. This is just his Tekken 3 pants that, again, are shrunk and chopped off at the knee. That's a 1. Clive has the exact same swim trunks as Jin, but the colors are inversed if it would ever load. The colors are inversed. This is also a 1. I'm sorry. And then Heihachi's pants are also, again, the same as his, but they moved the flames up and then, again, chopped them off at the knee. They did add the little symbol on top, but still, awful. So all of these are getting a 1. They're all really bad. Honorable mentions are also getting a 1 that weren't just the pants chopped off at the knee, but instead, they took their tops and just threw it on there and then called it a day. Jin, this is just the back of Jin's jacket, copy pasted on both sides, and then throw it onto his swim trunks. 1, easily, no question. And then the other one is Leroy. This is just Leroy's shirt that's, again, like thrown onto a pair of pants, thrown on him, boom, done. 1. All of these get a 1. So yeah, now that's out of the way, we can go in alphabetical order. And I think even though that it makes sense to do that, I want to go in alphabetical order, and I don't want to keep switching to and from. This is so annoying. I should have written this down so it would have been easier for me. God damn it. No, I'm gonna go to character customization to do this because it's gonna be easier, especially with how I have to do it to unlock the camera and everything. Really zooming into that. Shut up! I just got here and I see King in the spin. It's not a spin. King Swimmer is large as his default skin without the cape or gloves. Yep, it's pretty bad. And there is one that is just that. It's just like their pants chopped off at the knee, but it is different. So when we get there, we'll get there. But yeah, it's only the male characters. The female characters, obviously, like, because there's less to work with, they can't just like chop off their pants at the knee and call it a day. So that's why none of them get on that list of just being ones, but the males do. The males, let's be honest, are very lazy. But starting out here with Alisa. I already have one. Shut up. Shut up. Why are we chopping the pants off? Ask Harada. This is Alisa's. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. As an Alisa player, I really like this one. I like the little, like, oh, Jesus. I like the little floof that's going on at the top. I like the asymmetry in the strings as well. So, oh, Jesus, sorry. So, you see how the strings on the top here are, like, one color, and then you have the one here that's a different color, and then that meets up at the back, and then they meet up in that bow tie, and then you got the two different colors. I like that a lot. It looks really nice. The bottoms are nice too. So you're going to notice that the bottoms are going to have this same like pattern on them. Well, they'll all be one color, but then a small portion of them at like the hip going around part of their leg is going to be another color. But what's nice about Alisa is that there's that little stripe that's separating the two. That's another color. You got the flowers as well on the sides, which is a nice unique touch for Alisa. And you also have that same on her top as well, which blends together really nicely with her hair. I have recolored this one because this is what I'm going to use when playing Alisa. But the default colors look really nice too. I think it suits her really well. I really like this one. I think this is a 10. Why are her nails pink? Because I changed them to be pink. Okay. Why do you have a bikini custom done already? Because I am an Alisa player. Why the hell would Yoshi even have a swim anything? He needs to prepare for if he gets wrung out. Of course, that's what you would use. Shut up! I give an Alisa an 8. That's fair. I think that, especially relative to the rest of... Oh, God. The rest of the swim outfits, this is, like, one of the best ones that they have. I can understand giving an 8, though, but there's enough unique that's going on here that I really like it, and I think it suits Alisa really well. Again, I like the little flower. The thing for me is if it doesn't look like they're just reusing assets for it, right? That is the thing for me that's going to separate it from being like, it's okay to really good. And to me, everything here works so well and so naturally that it doesn't feel like they're just reusing assets for this. I think, again, the colors are really nice. The dichotomy between the colors is like the same as her hair and the same as her outfits. You see that reflected in the string as well that goes along to her back, and then you see those meet up at the back, which I think is really nice. I like that you have that on the bottoms, the line that's separating the colors there, and it's very bright and vibrant. It's a different like texture, and you have the same on the top as well that's separating like the floof, and then the bows on the sides as well is really nice, and I think fits Alisa really well. This is a 10 for me. I really like this one. Hi Jolter, hi Statty, Seth Goonie. I'm making content, shut up. But yeah, I think this is a 10. I really like this one. I mean, I already made an outfit for Alisa with this. I think it's great. Moving on to Asuka. Now, Asuka is kind of the one that's been memed because Asuka is just her, like, sweater vest, I suppose, but with a bikini. And, I'm okay with it. You know, it's funny. It's very funny, but I think it actually works really well. It's oh God. I don't know what is going on with, hold on. Why it's not locking the damn inputs when I do this. There we go. But me personally, I actually like the texture of the sweater. It's very funny. Did they nerf her chest? No. It's very funny because just imagining this as swimwear doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. But in this context, it's hilarious. Now, I will say it's a little bit weird having this, and then they're like, we need an asset to use to put on here so it's not plain. Oh, let's use the school crest. That's a little bit like... But I do think that it works, and it's funny, and it looks nice. The bottoms as well, you know, since, again, it's a theme that they're just reusing assets, what are they going to do? They're going to use that, like, plaid sort of design on the bottoms. And you know what? Even though it's weird, I think it works. The crest makes it funnier. No, you're 100% correct. It does make it funnier. And even though the bottoms and that plaid do really like, I wish that they just went all the way with the sweater texture and they made the bottoms the sweater texture. I would have preferred that because again, it feels like it's conflicting with the top a little bit. And it also doesn't feel like it fits Asuka, but I think it's very funny. And on top of that, when it comes to like coloring it as well, one of the things I think is really important is that you can recolor these, right? So you could just make this like that blue color, and then you can make this like a red, and then you can make, is it this one maybe? Yeah, you can make this like, I don't know. Sure, let's just, well, that doesn't look very good either, does it? Maybe if we made that like black and then we made like this one black. Yeah, that looks better. But you know what I mean? Like you can change it so it looks a little bit better. So I don't know. I think this is like a 9. 10 out of 10 just because of being an Asuka main. I think it's like a 9. I think that it's not like perfect, but I think it's funny. I think it kind of works. It's funny in the good way, not in the bad way. You know, some of these are funny in the bad way, and I would never use them. This is funny in a good way, and I think that you could definitely use this, and it's like, it's fine. And it looks nice. And it's unique. So, yeah, I'll give it like a 9. Would you like us to leave you alone for 5 minutes? I'm good. Don't worry about all that. Asuka gets a 10 out of 10 because it's fucking funny, incredibly fucking stupid. You know what? Fair enough. All right, I'll give her a 10. You know what? Fair enough. You're right. It is extremely funny. By the way, if you're wondering, I have those Azucena outfits because I need them for thumbnails in like a long time ago. Say 5 out of 10 because Asuka isn't a hot girl. Okay. So all the men are getting ones then, I see. 10 out of 10 Asuka's bae. I'll revise mine to a 10 because I'm weak. All right, Azucena. I think Azucena's is really nice. Like, am I crazy? I feel like it's back to back to back really good ones. Fucking close to the first thing I see when coming to Shut up. Am I crazy or is this real? I actually like this more than her default one. And I think that is the bar you need to clear with Azucena. Because since she already has, by default, a bikini outfit, you have to have one that is better than her default. And I think that she really rocks this one well. Azucena's gets docked to point because of the white and black on the top. I think can't be recolored. Can it not really? Let me take a look here and see. I am curious. That can't be... That can't be... I guess I can just look for white. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. The white can't be recolored. That's so weird. Yeah, I agree. I'll dock a point for that. That is really silly. Just limiting customization again for absolutely no reason. Classic Bamco. But regardless of that, I think it looks really good. You know, the patterns stand out. They're very colorful. And you even see that on the straps, right? Azucena is the only one that has these straps that are multicolored. They go from green, purple, green, purple, green, purple. And I don't know if there's a specific reason why they chose green, purple, green, purple, green, purple. But it definitely makes it stand out and adds to that idea of it being like colorful and standing out, and it's very similar to like her hair, you know, because in her hair she has like these feathers that are very colorful and stand out, and I think her as a character is that way too, where she just stands out a lot. And I also appreciate the symmetry between having those on the straps and having those colors on the bottoms here. But then even the bottoms, the pattern looks really nice. I know it's just lifted from her outfit, I get it, but I think that where they're putting it on the waist here works really well. I think it looks really nice. And the tops here as well isn't just like one color, you know, it's that red, and then it's separated by the pattern up there that unfortunately you can't recolor, and it's really stupid that you can't recolor it, but it works really well. And again, it helps it stand out and feel unique. And I think all of the colors work well. I think the design works well. I think it looks really nice. And again, in my opinion, what you have to do with Azucena is make it look better than her base one. And I think that absolutely does that. So for me, it's probably a 9. I'm docking it a point, like Lesetto said, because you can't recolor the top. And I think it's really important that you should be able to do that. But besides that, I think it looks nice. I think it's a 9. I don't like it because it feels like the top is too small. I mean, all of them are that way. On her original hit effects, the same color as her top straps, are they? Or some part of her rage, I seem to remember those colors somehow being associated with her. If so, that's even better. I don't remember though. I don't play Azucena. But if that's the case, I think it just adds a little bit more to the flavor that's going on here. I think it looks great. Azucena is a 10 out of 10 just because she's a coffee drinker. Okay. You have to raise your arms every time you go green, purple, green, purple, green, purple. Yes, I do. That I'm contractually obligated to, yeah. But yeah, I think it looks great. I think it looks really nice. It's definitely better than a default bikini, and that's what matters. So, I give it a 9. I think it's good. So, now, I think we're going to the first man. And that is going to be, again, Brian and Claudia got 1s because it's just the default pants chopped at the knee. We're going to Devil Jin. Azu's 10 out of 10 because I like her. I see. Seth giving ladies higher score than fellas. Not all of them. Calm down. But a lot of the men's swimsuit outfits are very lazy. A lot of them are. All right. Unfortunate. But here we go. I know no one's here for this, but this is where we're at. Devil Jin. So Devil Jin's main thing is the pants, right? Devil Jin has this image or whatever this is on his pants, and someone has to tell me where this is from. I could not for the life of me find where they lifted this from. I don't know if this was just concept art that they didn't use. I don't know what the hell this is. But I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find it on anything. I don't know if it's like in his rage art. I don't know if it's in the store. I don't know where the hell they got this from. And it's weird. Let me be clear. It's weird. I just checked those colors are the same as her flower hit effects during rage art, her kick, and her finger forehead flip. Oh, that's really nice then. I appreciate that they put some thought into that then. That's awesome. Okay. So, I think Devil Jin's actually looks pretty decent. It's something directly from Hot Topic. And I think that fits Devil Jin well. And unlike Yoshimitsu, where it felt like his pants didn't match the rest of his body, whatever the hell is going on the swim trunks here directly lines up with his tattoo. And it adds to a kind of symmetry that I really like. I think it works extremely well with whatever the tattoo is on his chest here. And again, I have no idea what the hell this is supposed to be. But what I will say is that it fits Devil Jin, whatever the hell it's supposed to be. The colors work, the image works, and the black and red is very simple, but it's tasteful. It works for Devil Jin. And the real thing that I think is good about Devil Jin, the studs. Now, yes, this is just a JPEG. They aren't like real studs. They do not have, you can see they are flat as a doorknob, but they add more personality to it, right? They add a lot of flair that would otherwise be missing and is missing from pretty much all of the other swim trunks. It's the small little details like that that you need to make these look good. And I think this looks great. It's not the best thing in the world, obviously, but I think for what they were trying to go for, it works. Again, the design works, the colors work, it all fits Devil Jin. It feels like something Devil Jin would wear, and the studs in the pants are the icing on the cake. So I'm going to give this an 8. I think it looks pretty good. Now, there is a lot that is left to be desired, of course. But I think the other thing, too, to keep in mind is even though if we're looking at from the front, we're like, oh, that's plain, that looks bad. Remember that when you're playing the game, you're going to be looking at Devil Jin like this, right? So what you're going to mainly be seeing is what's on the side. And, you know, with what they're doing and how limited their budget was for something that costs $4, you know, I think that's like the most important thing. And if there's stuff on the front or whatever that can make it too busy or not really work, and I think here it works fine. So I think it's an 8. I think it looks fine, and it's mainly because of the studs. Looks like some sort of Kingdom Hearts Heartless emblem. It does. You're right. I think it's meant to be the sword that he uses in his rage. Oh, is it? Huh. Interesting. I've never really paid attention to that, to be honest with you. I still wonder why the black paw is only around his elbows. Great question. I have no idea. We need a Speedo to see... John, I'm not reading that out loud. All right, moving on. Get this mail off my screen. Speaking of men, Dragunov. All right, Dragunov's, I think, is actually kind of nice. So the outfit is, as you can see, that snow camo texture, right? And so what this is lifting off of is this outfit, right? You can see that the pants exactly the same as the swim trunks here, but unlike Brian, Claudio, Kazuya, King, Yoshi, Eddie, Clive, Heihachi, Jin, and Leroy, they did a little bit more of it than just take the pants from an outfit, chop it at the knee, and call it a day. They added a little bit more to it, mainly on the side here, which is what I was just talking about with Devil Jin, where they added the emblem that's on his jacket. And I think it works extremely well. Now, I will say that putting it right where the seam line is kind of dumb. I would have preferred if it was above the seam line and in between like the pocket and the seam line, even if you shrunk it a little bit, especially so it stayed more like within the lines. But nitpicking a little bit, I think it looks really nice. Like, because the main thing is, when it comes to this, is this something that Dragunov would wear if he was forced to go to the beach on a mission as an undercover spy? And the answer is yes. I think that you couldn't have done anything better with Dragunov, given the scope of what they're trying to do with this. Would it have been better maybe if they didn't use the emblem or they only had the emblem on one side? Yes, I think that what would have been better is if the emblem here, they shrunk and they put like here or something. I think that would have looked a lot better than shoving it on the side, stretching it out, feeling like it's kind of out of place and just throwing it in there and calling it a day. I think this actually would have looked really nice if you just had the camo and then that was separated by this little like barrier color to separate the two instead of it just so it's not just full camo. But I think it looks nice. I think that, again, what like it looks like something Dragunov would wear. I think it's something that's perfectly like, it doesn't feel out of place in game. I think this is another 8. I think it looks good. I like it. If they just changed the emblem so it was only on one side and not on both sides. See, and they just like stuck it up here or something and then called it a day, I think it would have looked a lot better. Yeah, then they're pretty cool. I'd wear them. Exactly. I think they look good. Yeah, and again, we have to think of it from the perspective of they're just like reusing textures and they're using the artistic direction with what they have from concept art and textures and stuff that's already like on the outfits and everything, and then making an outfit out of that. And I think they do a great job here. I think this is an 8. It's just a couple of things I'd prefer if they move around or they change, but I don't think that you can do much better than with Dragunov at all. I think they did a really good job with this one. I'm here for Lee only. Oh, I'm sure. Tekken 5 fan, I see. Seth quoting his fame with the dragon of ugh. Swimwear look very professional with the emblems. Yeah, they do. All right, Feng. So Feng is the weird one. Feng is a really weird one. Don't worry, we're almost out of male alley. We only have 3. Feng is a very weird one. Because if you remember the other characters that we just talked about, Brian, Claudio, Kazuya, King, Yoshi, Eddie, Clive, Heihachi, Jin, and Leroy, all of those characters just had their pants chopped off at the knee. We're immediately getting used. Yes, I'm sorry. There's a male here. I apologize. Male on stream equals bad. They did the same thing with Feng. But they didn't just take his pants, chop it off at the knee, and call it a day. Instead, what they did is they took Feng, when you look at him head on. So if we look at him like this, they took this and then made the swim trunks out of this image. So they hit the screenshot button and then they designed the swim trunks just looking at this area. And I'm going to be honest with you, it works. Shockingly, it works. So let's do this. And then do this. Yeah, it's like, it's a lot. It's a bit of a mess. But it kind of works. If it's Hwoarang, at least, don't worry, Hwoarang's next. And Hwoarang, I think, is really good, actually. But it's a little bit perplexing. Because I think that the way that they, like, separate the white part of his pants from the, like, the inner part of his robe, because that's obviously what this is with that gold stripe, is really nice. And I like that they have those gold stripes at the bottoms of his pants as well, along with the tops. Oops, sorry. I think that looks really nice. And then they just don't do it here. Or here, when separating the red and white and green. And I don't understand why. Because I think that they should have kept that up, separating these different, because you're already taking the pants, the inner part of the robe, and the outer part of the robe, and splashing them all together in one image. And I think if you're going to do that, it makes a lot more sense to just separate all of this stuff instead of keeping it all together. Now, that said, I think it's fine. I think it works. But the way they went about it is really weird. And they put so much effort into making all of this stuff work, but at the same time, it feels like they got halfway through it, ran out of budget, and said, oh, well, we can't put the gold line for any of the odd parts, so let's just wrap it up and call it a day there. And I think that sucks. I really do think that sucks. So, you know, I mean, it's a tough one because I think it looks good. I think it looks really nice. And you know, the other thing I like about this too a lot, and I appreciate a ton, is that these look completely different if you're on player 1 and player 2 side. You know, and I don't think that's as true with the default outfit as it is here because, you know, player 1 side, you got the Phoenix, and then player 2 side, it's a little bit more plain with the blue and the white. And I kind of like that, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. I think it's fine. I think it's like, you guys are giving it like a 3. I think it's like, it's really tough. I think it's like a 6.5. I don't know. Because I kind of like the idea of it, and I like what's going on here. And again, they're working with what they got, and I think they they could have done a good job, but it just falls flat because like halfway through it, they just got lazy and didn't finish it. And oh, it feels so bad. Is that Rising Phoenix, or is he just happy to see us? All right, moving on to Hwoarang. What's bro's diet? He has like 0 body fat. Dragons. It looks like boxes short. That's also true. All right, Hwoarang. Hwoarang's is actually really good. I know. You don't believe me, but I actually really like Hwoarang's. So, obviously a lot of things are being reused. And the main things to look at is like the blood talon here, the embroidery on his gi, and his pants, right? And I think that they go about this in a really nice way. Hold on, I'm just like looking at these again because I want to get a look at the image. Yeah, so like the blood talon thing here, right? Those are the main things to look at. But do this. Aturin, he says a hate crime. He likes Hwoarang. I did not say that. I said I like Hwoarang's outfit. I think this looks really good. Because it's not just taking the bottoms, copy pasting them on the side, and then calling it a day. I think that unlike Dragunov's, they put the little emblem here in a good position. That makes sense, right? And yeah, it kind of goes into the pocket, and that's a little bit annoying. And they probably could have shrunk this down and moved it over a little bit. But I think it makes sense. They changed the main color of the swim trunks, so it's not just black like his normal pants. They changed the side, right? So this was normally an orange, now it's a blue. They also changed the texture on it. So it's not just the exact same texture as the rest of the swim trunks. It has its own... I don't know what material this would be, but you know what I mean. It's like its own material, its own texture for the blue on the side. And then you have the talon marks that are on his gi that are now on the front of his swim trunks. And this I really like, because the other thing they could have done is just put this on this side, and then and this side, and then called it a day. But no, they did kind of what I was saying with Dragunov, where they put it on the front, and I think that looks really nice. But on top of that, ooh, hold on. Sorry, I'm having some trouble because I have to do some my keyboard because it's kind of broken. On the back, you got the blood talon. And that, to me, is what brings it together. You have the symmetry with the talon, which I think makes a lot of sense because Hwoarang obviously can manually go in the back turn, southpaw, and all of that. So probably having it on both sides, I think, makes more sense on Hwoarang than anyone. You have the emblem on the sides, the colors changed, the color on the sides changed, and you got the blood talon on the back. And I think, like I was saying before with Alisa, I think that really what you need to do with this is make it look like, even though they're reused assets, that they're not reused. And I think that they did a really good job with that. This one for me is a 10. I think that this looks really good. It's a cool design. They did a good job with what they had. They definitely made it different than it just being the pants. The way that they reuse like the embroidery from the talon as well looks like really good. They did a great job with that. Things feel like they line up. It's full of design, but it doesn't feel busy. There's so much good stuff going on here. For me, this is a 10. And I think it's the only 10 of all of the male characters, but it is a 10. I really like this. I think it looks great, and I think it suits Hwoarang's personality very well. So good stuff. You're giving it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, I think, is fair. Because Hwoarang's not a woman. Damn. Moving on to Jack. Speaking of not women, okay, first off, can I just say, this is cursed. This whole thing that's going on here is cursed, and I don't like it. But those are jeans. Here are the swim trunks. So, First off, can I just point out that I don't think these arms were ever supposed to be seen. Anyway, so Jack is really basic. It's the same sort of texture we already see on him. That hexagonal pattern. You see in Russian here that says 8 on the side, and then you just got G Corp on the sides, and that's it. It's basic, right? It's not like they're just like chopping his legs off at the knee, but it's extremely basic. It's fine. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a 1, but it's not great. I think that it's textured on the sides, and like the hexagonal pattern as opposed to like this square pattern is different, and it fits Jack. My problem is that you could have just like with Dragunov put this G Corp logo up here and just put it there and then been done with it. I don't like the symmetry that's going on here. I don't love that. I feel like it's really weird because like I get it with the hexagonal pattern and all of this. Why are we making this symmetrical? Why are we making the 8 symmetrical on both sides? I just don't understand it. Why make the G Corp logo symmetrical on all 4 sides? I don't know, man. It's the words on his pants just say 8. Yeah, and he also has that on his default outfit too. I don't know, man. I can't say it's the worst thing ever. I can't say it's like terrible and incredibly lazy, and it looks fine, but there's just so little going on here. The other thing I can say too, at least, is that it says GG on the side. Oh my god, stop. You're right though. Again, unlike Yoshimitsu, the one important thing here, it lines up with the rest of his body, right? What they've done with the texture and everything on here lines up with everything else going on. I'm going to give this a 5. It's not terrible. It's not egregious. It's not making me go like, this is so boring. But at the same time, it's making me go like, it's boring. So, I give it a 5. It's not the worst, but it definitely could have been better. It looks weird and disturbing. 0 out of 10. I agree with you. All right, we're back to the women. More women. He's a robot and he's swimming. This is a paradox. I don't like it. Yeah, you think if Jack jumped into a pool that would short circuit? Maybe. Did you skip Victor? No, we're going in alphabetical order. All right. First off, calm down. Calm down. Hold on, I'm trying to get this to my mouse. My mouse isn't working. All right, so June. I think June's looks really good. Now, it's definitely more basic than the other ones that we've seen. But I think it fits with what June's 10 out of 10 just because it's Mama Cosma, of course. I think it fits really well with what we normally see from June, right? Because it's just black and white, And like what we see on a default outfit, black and white, a fairly simple but yet kind of intricate design that has symmetry. And it's a similar thing here where, you see this on the top, right? It's the same, like, I don't know what you'd call these, but you know what I mean. It's the same thing on both sides. It blends really well with the black and white. You got black straps on the top. And then, oh God. Again, this is really difficult because I can't use my mouse for some reason. It's just broken. But then you got the same on the back as well. And then with the bottoms, you have this, I have no idea what this is. Even from minute 1, I've never quite understood if this has any meaning behind it. But you got whatever this is, symmetry. And then the thing that really brings this together and makes this look nice is the black bow tie. So on the rest of this outfit, you have just, white, white, white. And then the main color of the bow is black. And that brings whatever this design is together, right? Because that's the point where they meet up. And when they meet up, then it creates the bow on the side. And I think that really makes it look nice and brings it all together. Looks like a spider lily, just black. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know if there's any meaning behind it. It doesn't really matter because it's her default outfit. But still, you can't expect me to calm down when I look at that. Shush. It really matches the color of her default outfit. Yeah, 100%. Like, it looks really good. Bottoms look really good, too. And what I do like about this, too, is if you go to the back here, they're not just doing the same thing on the front, on the back. I actually like that there's nothing on the back to deviate a little bit from that symmetry. I think it does add a little something and it looks nice. So this one isn't like the best one in my opinion, but yeah, it's like Gameran said, it's an 8 out of 10. Simple but nice. The black strings for me is the thing that really makes me like this. I like the way in the black by principle. I think that it's kind of like Hwoarang's where there's a lot that's going on, but it's not too busy. I think that it all works really well, and the bows at the end give it enough personality that it definitely stands out. I think if it wasn't for the bows, this would be a little bit too simple, and I'd probably bump it down to like a 7 or a 6, but the bows do it for me. So, like, this is an 8. I really like this. I'm back. Whoa, just what kind of thirsty stuff are we up to? Shut up. 8 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8. I think it looks nice. Spider lilies are rich in symbolism, often associated with death, the afterlife, and remembrance. In Japan, they're known as higanbana and are frequently found near graveyards and temples, symbolizing farewells in the tradition to the afterlife. Gotcha. So it's I guess it's kind of in a similar sense than the same as like Kazumi in Tekken 7, where her kimono was like the way around that you have it on when you die or when the person is dead or whatever. God, that makes a lot more sense to me. Thank you for the clarification. I've been wondering that since the game came out. Gooning, shut up! Anyway, 8 out of 10. All right. Back to the men. Skipping Kazuya, we already went over Kazuya. Kazuya is a 1. King! I want Mommy June. I want milk. I still want her to come back. She'd be interesting to come back. Oh, wait, sorry, no, we skipped King as well. King is the same thing where they just chopped it off at the knee. My bad. Sorry. I already forgot. Lars. Oh my god, Lars. Lars is so bad. Lars is terrible. Okay, so before we get into the swim trunks, it's important to know that when you see these, there's an important thing that's going on with Lars' default outfit. So a lot of, thankfully I can use the mouse on this one. A lot of Lars' default outfit obviously has a lot of references to Sweden, right? Whatever the hell's going on under his jacket, his shirt's blue here. You got the griffin, right? Got the griffin here. You got the lion on the crest. So you have references to like Sweden. You have references to Gustavus Adolphus. Even in his title is a reference to Gustavus Adolphus. There's a lot of references that are constantly going on with Lars, with his outfit, with his title, with all of this stuff, right? So his swim trunks, they would probably be trying to convey that as well, right? No, we have to look at it a little bit more. We have to look at it a tad more. This image was never designed to be this big. You were never supposed to see this image this big. Harmonize with the Prime. Thank you so much for pressing the give my favorite streamer $2 button for 10 months as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton. We needed that to get away from whatever the hell this is. Thank you so much for that. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Welcome in. He looked like he just shopped at the kids section for swim trunks. Yeah. And on top of that, too, like, what the hell is this, man? This is what I was saying they should have done with, like, Dragunov and a couple other characters, but it's just so out of place. First off, why is that the bottom of the trunks and not the top? Like, why? It just makes it look weird. Because, like, think of it from if you're wearing the swim trunks, right? This is clearly, like, raised, right? It's supposed to be embroidered. It's supposed to, like, come off of the swim trunks. When you're in the water, and this thing is at the bottom of the swim trunks, and it's flapping around, it's going to feel a lot weird. It's going to feel really weird and really out of place than if it was at the top. It just doesn't make sense. You look at this and your brain goes, oh, that doesn't look right. That's why it doesn't look right. On top of that, there's nothing else going on. This is terrible. This is ugly. This is terrible. Like, and again, I want you to look at the Griffin here, right? Because this, look at this idiot. I need this as an emote. I'm actually taking a screenshot of this. Look at this. And then, like, this was never supposed to be blown up this much. And then compare it. Default outfit. Looks fine on here, right? You know why? Because one, it's textured. Two, it was never supposed to be blown up that much. This is a 1. Lars is a 1. Lars is just terrible. Oh my god. Awful. Aren't all Lars players children? They might be, yeah. You're not wrong about that, yeah. But the part with God and anime on my side. The rats are not over the top enough for Lars. You know, that's another point too. You're 100% correct. It is not over the top enough for Lars. All right. Time for Law. He looks ugly generally, even with the swimsuit. And, well, yep, the swimsuit is not going to help anything at all. You're also right. Which is flatten his hair would look bad. But he has to have the Mishima hair. All right, Law. I mean, we've already seen this one probably along with Paul. I don't think that we need to look at this for a very long time. Okay, so now you're thinking, all right, this doesn't look great, but at least that's the dragon on the side. Could be worse. For anyone that is not aware, which there may be a couple of you, somehow. Where is it? Hold on a second. Found it. This is a 1. This is a 1. This is a 1. You want to know where the dragon comes from, by the way, in case you didn't know? It's nunchucks. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else that we need to say about this, right? This is just like... And you know the worst part, too? The dragon... like comes off of the sides, right? So it doesn't even feel like it fits, because if they just shrunk it a little bit and made it fit in between the lines, or maybe they extended, like they put a little bit of effort into extending the lines or something, then it would look a little bit better. But no, even the dragon just looks like it's copy paste. It's just thrown on here. Like, why are the claws coming out to his midsection? It looks so bad. It's not only a copy paste, it looks terrible. 1. It's a 1. I misclicked and said they're fucking something with no message. I was gonna put the missile copy pasta. No! I'm sorry for your loss. Loss is so good. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, never mind then. I used it because of Bruce Lee. I'm giving it a 1 out of 10 on principle because it's just so damn lazy. Aquaman as costume. Thanks for the nightmares. Now I can't sleep with what I just saw. I'm so sorry. We paid for something we could have already made. Yup. Turns out, if you play Law, you already have the swimsuit outfit a year in advance. All right, now here's what everyone's been waiting for. The best swimsuit incoming. I forgot I have to do this. See, here's the thing, right? This is just the women's bikini bottoms only. It's not even like... this stupid column makes it golden. It's not even like unique. And yeah, it's I get it. I understand it's a reference to Tekken 5. I know. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Are you really paying $4? Like, let's be honest here. The problem I have with this isn't that it's like, haha, funny reference. The problem I have with this is if you're a League player, you're spending $4 for this. I don't know. Like, they should have just made this free. They should have... What they should have done instead is they should have given Lee, like, the swim trunks like everyone else and just made this free. As a fun thing that everyone gets for free with the summer update. And I think that making it... Yeah, exactly. Make it his base costume or something. Exactly, right? Like, this should have been free. That's the problem I have with it. The problem I have with it is that you have to spend $4 for this. This is not $4. Again, like, they should have just had him have swim trunks like everyone else, made this free for everyone, even if you don't buy it, as a fun thing that you get as part of the summer update. That's all it should have been. So, yeah, I personally, like, again, by itself, very funny, haha, 10 out of 10. With the context behind it being part of the bundle, this is like a 1. Because it's just so goddamn lazy. And it should have been free. It looks like he's crying. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Frankly, all the unique costumes should be as base costumes and accessible in tournament mode for free, because I would really like to see more than 4 outfits in turn. No, I agree with you. I think that every single thing in the Tekken shop should be available for playing with offline. And I don't see why it's not. It's so stupid that it's not. Nerfed Lee. I'm gonna say good. I want Lee to be nerfed. All right. Leo. Are we out of male alley? Depends on your perspective. All right, so Leo is a bit of a weird one because Leo has the same thing as the battle pass, but unlike Law and Paul, it's actually been changed, and I unironically kind of like it. So they've obviously changed a lot of the design with it, especially around the midsection. And my conspiracy theory for this is that Leo is part of the male set, but they changed the image to try giving Leo an hourglass figure, making it so that this outfit is more akin to like a female outfit instead of a male outfit, right? And I think that's very funny. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's the only thing I can think of because it has that hourglass figure. But I think it looks nice. Yeah, it's a nice design. They took that, like this, again, this is what they should have done for Law and Paul. I'm fine with them reusing it as long as they change it in a way that feels like it's unique for the character and it works. And I don't think that this would have worked on any other character. I think that the way this is designed only works for Leo, and I think it looks really good. And it's like I've been saying too of other characters. You have that small little emblem on the side that's the same as the necklace, and they put it in the right position, and they make it small enough. Like the odd ones, like Lars, for instance, they blow it up, they make it giant, they put it on every side, they make it like stand out like a sore thumb. You see that the same with Dragunov as well. With Leo's, it's not like they blew it up and then put it on both sides and then that was it. They made it really small on one spot. They didn't make it symmetrical. I think it works really well. I think the colors look really well. I think the design looks really nice. I think this works extremely well for Leo. And, oh yeah, and then it's not even symmetrical on the back too. Like they completely changed how everything looks on this outfit. I think it looks great. I think it looks really good for Leo. I think this is like unironically a 9. You know, even though they just reused the Battle Pass outfit, they changed it in a way that works for Leo. It looks really good on Leo. And it's kind of like what I was saying with the design stuff as well. If you didn't see that outfit before, you wouldn't know that this wasn't tailor-made for Leo, I think. It fits the character so well. So I think this is a 9. I think I really like it. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I know that we just want to hate on the fact that they're reusing this outfit for multiple characters, even though it was already in the Battle Pass, but it looks a lot better than the Battle Pass one. It fits. So I'm sorry, but I'm giving it a 9. Leo's looking kind of flat. No comment. It doesn't look bad. 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, it actually looks pretty decent. Are we hating them for using last year's swim trunks for most of the dudes? That's also a good point. I'm gonna say no, because pretty much all of them have been changed. Although I think it's kind of a fair point. Just so they can flip-flop. Ooh, it's actually a girl again. Ooh, it's actually a dude. Well, I mean, if you know the reason behind it, it makes sense, but... All right, we're skipping Leroy because shirt. Lili! More women! More women! I mean, Lili's is another one that is, spoiler, a 10 out of 10. It looks great. I don't know what else to tell you. I think that Lili's looks fantastic. Lili's is critical. They can't fuck it up. Also true. I agree. I like what they did with these packs. I do too. Like, generally speaking, there are a couple of them that are lazy and don't look really good. Hold on. I gotta have Lili blink here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Stop. Hold on. Oh, okay, the game didn't crash. Thank God. There we go. So, sorry, I'm a Lili hater. No, I'm with you. I hate Lili too. Tag 2 handled the Leo thing very weirdly. Yeah, it really did. Give Leo a beard and also a bikini. No, I think Lili's looks great. I think this is the best one of all of the characters in this pack, bar none. Obviously, they're reusing the texture from her dress, but they do it in a really good way. In a way that fits seamlessly onto the design. You see it on her top, of course, and also important to know, like Asuka's sweater, it's textured, right? And the texture helps a lot with it standing out, and it's different from it just being flat like the rest of it. And you see it on the bottoms too. You see it all the way around in the bottoms. It fits Lili like perfectly. And then you have the purple on the left that's separated by this stitch pattern in the middle. Looks top notch. You got the floof, fits Lili really well. And then you have the little bows on the side, which I think fits Lili perfectly, because you're not just going to have like some swim trunks and then like you have a little bit of flair on it and it looks a little bougie, and like, no, Lili, you gotta go the whole 10 yards. And the whole 10 yards is you got this bow with I don't know where they took this from, but you see all of the little details in the bow with like the holes and everything that are shaped like hearts, notably. And then it all comes together with the little brooch, I guess. even if this is just lifted from something, which I'm sure it's lifted from like her default outfit or something, I can't remember. It fits perfectly. You know, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The way that it fits on the bottoms works perfectly. It doesn't make it feel like one is more extravagant than the other. They're both clearly supposed to be extravagant. They both work really well. There's so many little details, particularly on the top, that again fit Lili and her being a rich bitch. And I think it looks great. This is a 10 out of 10 to me. It fits her really well. Design looks nice. It looks like that this was custom made for Lili for this outfit. Even though it clearly wasn't, they did a great job with this. It looks fantastic. Lili looking like a Christmas gift with those red bow. It looks like the pendant. Looks like the pendant maybe a brooch or a brooch or however you pronounce it. Yeah, whatever the case, it works. The way they reused Lili's outfit for a swimsuit is how they should have done it for Asuka. No, I agree with you. Like they did it. They obviously put a lot more time into this than some other ones, as you'll see with Nina on the next one. I don't think it's very pretty, but it's higher effort, 9 out of 10. Fair enough. Just a friendly reminder that, like Asuka, Lili is still underage, chat. Actually, no. By the end of Tekken 8's story, it lines up with Lili's birthday. By the end of Tekken 8, Lili is probably 18. Probably. Because the end of Tekken 8 takes place at the end of 2018, which is the year that Lili turns 18. The problem is that Lili's birthday is in like September or something, and the game ends around September. So it's like she's either like by the end of Tekken 8 story, like 18 by 5 days, or she's 17 and it's 5 days until her 18th birthday. But whatever the case, she's a damn video game character and she looks like an adult. But yeah, I think it looks great. I think it's a 10 out of 10. Let's move on to the next one. Schrodinger's legality. All right, now we're going the polar opposite direction. Now we got Nina. Man, this is bad. And I think it really helps you appreciate how much effort was put into Lili's, because look at this garbage, dude. I don't even need to... Like, what are they doing? What was that Ivy mod? It's a mod I had installed like over a year ago. This is bad, man. I mean, like, come on. It's just purple and black. And then they added this chain down at the bottom to be like, ooh, let's add something to it so that it's not just purple and black. It's terrible. This is a 1. This is a 1. I don't even care that it's not just her pants chopped off at the knee. No, and what you said, Nendo, is exactly what I said when I first saw this. And in the initial video I did before I scrapped it, and that's why I'm doing this one now. They really did just take a bucket tool and put purple and black, and then that was it. In fact... Oh, Jesus, sorry. Hold on a second. I actually, for the initial video, photoshopped out the chain so you can see just how bad it is. Let me find that real quick for you. Hold on a second. Let me find it real quick. I don't remember where I put it. I think I just put it in pictures or something. If I can't find it immediately, then I just won't worry about it. But yeah, no, you're right. And it's not even like it looks like they did that. They did literally do that. If they painted that by hand, then they put in more effort than they should have. I found it. Hold on a sec. I did find it. I was very lazy, so I just took the image from the when I was editing it and then photoshopped it out. But here you go. This is what it looks like without the chains. Let me zoom in here. Boom. See that? It's terrible. With the chains, without the chains, with the chains, without the chains. It's awful. It's a 1. That's hot. 9 out of 10 for Nina. Okay, we're moving on. 2 out of 10, very boring. Put some real chains at least. Honestly, if they put real chains on like the strap or something, I would have been down for it, but garbage. 0 out of 10, agreed. Speaking of 0 out of 10. Ew, male! One. Next! You know, it's no secret where I sit with most of these, but at least I'm not going to say anything to get you canceled. I don't think that you would be able to get me canceled. Next. Fun fact, pau means wood in Portuguese. Okay. 1 out of 10, can't read the character. All right, Ravens is really bad. So, I'm going to show you it first, and then you're going to be like, huh? And then I'll explain. Oops, sorry, I need to take off his shirt. Nah, I don't need to take off his shirt. It's fine. Yeah. So, this is it. This is it. Hold on. I'm going to, real quick, so I can use my mouse to move around. 1 second. That's just easier for me. Yeah, this is it. This is it. So, it has death, which is the thing on his shoulder. His shirt's on. And then it has this. And it's just copy-pasted 4 times. And that's it. So, you might be wondering, like, where is this from? Like, what is this image? Why is this here? I think it's this one. That's where it's from. So these were intended to be like connected to each other. And it makes a lot more sense with the symmetry, right? Because it's like, you know, it starts off here, goes off, right? The symmetry between the two, like that's how it was intended. And so on the swim trunks, instead, they just cut off one side of it, give you the other side like that, and then copy paste it 4 times. So the original design doesn't even work. And it just leaves you going, what the hell is this supposed to be? This is a 2. This is a 2. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. It's like, it looks really bad. I wouldn't use it on Raven, and like, why would you? It doesn't look cool. It doesn't look interesting. They did a terrible job with reusing the stuff. It just looks bad. It's a 2. It's not as egregious like Paul's or anything, but it's bad. 4 out of 10 doesn't match his character. Also true. A little bit more generous than me. All right, Reina. Here we go. Another moment everyone's been waiting for. Boom. There you go. I kind of like this one, but I kind of don't like this one. Here comes my waifu. So, one big, like, aspect that they try to convey with Reina is, like, asymmetry, right? And they do that in multiple ways. It's not just the color, but also with the, like, the stripes on her top. You got 3 on one side, 2 on the other. I want Reina to dominate me. No comment. And I think that's nice. I also think it's nice too that they, with the stripes, they actually make it so it's a different texture. So like, if you, the way she talks to, also true. Yes, 100%. So unlike a couple of characters like King, for instance, where they just like take the texture, copy paste it, and call it a day, here they actually took the texture of the stripes on her top, put it on here. That helps a lot. You see also with the straps, you got black, 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 and then purple coming together at the back, kind of like well, not kind of like, exactly the same as Alisa's, which I really like. And then you got the same thing with the bottoms, except the bottoms are just plain. That's the issue, right? Unlike the other characters where you have the bottoms that might be plain by themselves, but they have something going on that makes them stand out or do something, whether it's like some sort of pattern or something on the sides or something. Reina's just has nothing. So the only thing going on with hers is the top. And I think that the top does look good. I like it. I like what's going on with the top. I really do. Even though it's the same as her normal top, I think that they did it in a way that works really well here. So I'm fine with it. But the bottoms are just nothing. They're just nothing. So it's like, it's a little bit frustrating, because if you look at like her normal outfit, like you see how much she's got going on with the belts and the zippers and everything. You could have put something like that on there, you know? Like you could have put like zippers on the bottoms. You could have put like a belt on the bottom or something. And instead it's just like they gave up after doing the top, and they didn't put in a ton of work on the top too. It's definitely like unique, but it's boring. So it's like a 6. Reina players are still going to use it though, because they've been begging for this on their knees since she got revealed. But yeah, they really could have done a better job with this. This is like a 5 or a 6. This is pretty bad. Reina's like an 8 out of 10 for me. Of course. Of course. See, it doesn't matter. It could have been the same as Nina's. It could have just been black on the top, purple on the bottom, and you would have been like 10 out of 10. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm giving it like a 5 or a 6. Hi, Yuta, long time no see. How are you? Is this ranked the summer outfit or something? It is, yes. It's good to see you though. I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well. Hello, welcome in. Her nails are adding a lot here. I mean, but then like all of them have the nails though, so Shaheen! Don't worry, I'll be fast, I promise. So at least they put a little bit more effort. You male. At least they put a little bit more effort into this one. But it's still pretty bad. Like the logo on the chest here, sorry. The logo on the chest up here is so out of place, because if you keep the I don't know what this is, but if you keep his like head thing on, hello? Like, they're not even trying to be subtle about it or hide it. And the rest of the outfit is, you know, it at least has a pattern on the front, and because of that, it is a bit better than the default one, but it's still the same thing. The only thing that they're changing in terms of, like, how it looks is the line to separate the colors, which makes it look okay, but it still doesn't look great. So I think this is like a 3, maybe a 4. I'm leaning more towards 3 though, because while the thing overall looks fine, that logo on the chest just ruins it so much. It's so out of place, especially when it's right next to the one over here. Yeah, to me, this is a 3. I don't like this. I think that unlike Leo's, it's not doing anything. And no, there isn't anything on the back, by the way. It's just the same thing all around. I don't like it. I forgot Shaheen's in the game until he comes into my ranked games and beats my ass. I have work early tomorrow, and here I am looking at digital swimwear. Oh my god. Make sure you get some rest, though. Looks even more superhero costume with the chest logo. Yeah, it looks like a bad superhero costume. Are you gonna upload this on Sesujin's hammer? I will, yes. I'll give it a 3, a 2. I'm glad we're in consensus here. This looks bad. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Something weird happened there. Are we okay? Everything fine? I think everything's fine. Okay. We're good? All right, cool. Steve. Steve's is... God save the queen! This is like... This is like a 3. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my... Rock and roll! It's so bad. England! 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 It's so bad. It's a 3. Steve should have had the spiel 2 on... Oh my god. It's... It's legitimately terrible. I hate it. I don't want to even think about it, look at it, or talk about it anymore. It's a 3. I mean, it barely meets the criteria of not just being his pants chopped off at the knee, because they are, except he has rock and roll and he has the stupid emblem that's on his shoulder on the swim trunks. So he barely scrapes by past a 1, but I don't want to look at the same one. I'm so sorry I took my headphones off. I really need to get open back headphones or something. I'm so sorry. But thank you for the 50 bits. I appreciate it. Thank you. Are they even trying? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they are, sometimes. Imagine the customization, the Speedo with the giant boxing gloves. Stop, please. Imagine having a British Imperial flag and rock and roll in the same place. Yikes. Okay, moving straight along. Victor. Yes, that's fine. Victor's is a weird one, because I actually think Victor's is fine. You know, it's not doing the thing I keep talking about with the emblem, where the emblem is like, you know, strewn across the side, feels too big and out of place. Here, I feel like it works. They do the thing where they put it off to the side, and I like that. Okay, here's a problem I have with it, though. Like, why is it not even with the embroidery? Why is it skewed slightly to the left of the embroidery? Please, I need, like, why? Why is it not even? Why is it? Why? Why doesn't it line up? Why? Besides that, though, the rest of it's plain, but I think works. Again, you got that texturing on the side. You got the embroidery to separate the two. But the problem is that the gun and the sword just make it so you can't actually see anything that's going on. So it does kind of just look like white trunks. I think this is a 5. I was fine with Steve's until I saw the text behind. Yeah, I was like, when he saw the rock and roll, I'm like, nope, I'm checking out. But yeah, I think this is a 5. Not only am I pissed off at the fact that this doesn't line up, which, why? But also I feel like it just doesn't work with Victor because the gun and the sword and everything, they do not work with the swim trunks. So I think it fits Victor. I think it's fine, but I don't think it really works. So for me, it's like a 5. I don't think it's great. Xiaoyu, women. Ah, Jesus. Whatever, I can edit this one. All right, Xiaoyu. I think Xiaoyu's is great. I mean, I'm sorry. I really like it. I think it looks really nice. I love all of the Phoenix feathers and how they've implemented that into the design. I think how they have it on the bombs in particular is quite nice, but I think it also looks nice on the top. I really like the colors too. Yeah, the colors on the top and bottom, because there's this silver color on the top with the orange, which looks really great. And then on the bombs as well, it's more of a white instead of a silver. And look at the bow as well. Not only does the little bow on the side fit well and look really nice, but they even have the little strap that looks like it's actually a part of it. It looks great. And then on the back as well, looks good. Not a whole lot going on there, but I think it works. Yeah, I mean, all around, just a really nice design. Again, the main thing I like is that the top is silver and the bottom is white. I think that looks great. I think that really, like, okay. Oops, sorry, I gotta unpause the game. If you look at like her default outfit, you know, you got that same sort of silver, which is obviously supposed to be a reference to Wong, if you know Wong, Jinrei, because of the silver and the clouds and everything. But I think that making the bottoms white adds like Xiaoyu's own style to it, and I think that's nice. The only thing about this I would change that I would like is also having that cloud pattern on the top along with it being silver, because I think that adds a lot for me personally. But I think these look really good. I like the white and black on the bombs as well. I like the bow. I like the gold for the straps and the orange for the phoenix and everything, even though I know it's all the same. But I think it just, like, it fits in really well with the colors and everything. It stands out. It looks great. I think it's a 9. I'm back. Oh, we're still here. Get some water if you're thirsty. Bracelets help a lot. Also true. I think it's no surprise why they use Xiaoyu and Lili when they first showed the swims. Oh yeah, no, like they are some of the best ones for sure. It's nice to see the blue pot, usually him beneath Victor's suit though. I do agree with you. I kind of wish a little of the black for Xiaoyu's top, otherwise she's fine. I agree with you there too. Maybe it would have been nice actually if for the straps it was black instead of gold. I don't know. But anyway, I think it looks really good. This is definitely a 9 for me, for sure. All right, we are almost done. Yoshimitsu, we skip. Zafina. Oh, boy. I really wish to use the accessory thing for the Oz as well. Would add a lot to the design. I agree. I think that, like, again, this is the first time they've done it. Clearly, there's some sort of budget, some sort of restriction so that not all of these look phenomenal. But, I think for, quite a few of these, they've done a really good job. And I think that when they do this again in the future, there's a lot of potential. And I think that these generally are a lot better than how people are making them out to be. Now, Zafina's is weird. Zafina's is another one where I don't recognize where the pattern is, so I'm not going to focus on that too much. I really like the blue. The general design, I think, is really nice. I like the symmetry. I like how with, like, this at the top, this is designed so that if you, like, squish them together, then the design lines up. That's unique. I don't know if that's how this looks, like, wherever this comes from, because I actually don't know where this comes from. Zafina just has so much going on with her designs. I don't know everything. Regardless, I think it looks really nice here. Arrow's giving some... I'm not finishing that sentence. And then the bottoms as well. You know, it's a very simple blue. You have a nice gold that goes around that meets up in the middle. I like the little red accents on all of it. It's simple but effective, and it looks nice. I think it's an 8. I think it's an 8. I think it looks fine. It's simple. It's nice. It's effective. The blue is good. It stands out. It fits Zafina really well. I wish there was a little bit more going on with it. That's why I'm not giving it anything higher, but I think it's a solid, like, 8. I think it's a 9. It's solid. They've done a decent job. Yeah, it's solid. There's just, like, again, I wish that there was a little bit more going on, but I think it works really well. And I like the design, too. You should have the same purple thingy coming out. Actually, that's true as well. If they had something that was, like, referencing the whole Azazel thing, that would have been nice. Hell, you know, if they just had, like, some of these symbols that's on her arm, maybe on the, like, going around the sides. So, like, here, imagine this. You have the gold part going around, and then you have whatever these symbols are going along, like, the waistband all below that gold stripe. That would have been cool. I think that would have been something, the thing they could have added to make this, like, a 10. But, yeah, I'll give it an 8. They said they did not do character talks like Fahkumram's because of the negative feedback. Then I doubt they're going to do this thing again where they give them unique patterns instead of a universal-based costume. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm doing my part to show my, how much I like this and hope they do it more. You can see the curl on top that resembles the famous Egyptian eye. See, that's kind of what I assumed, but I wasn't sure if that was what it was. It's okay. For Zafina, I expected a little bit more going on. 7 out of 10. Yeah. That implies Azazel sealed there, too. Shut up. All right, we're going to save Lidia for last. Hi, Cliff Jumper. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Let's do the last male. And then we'll do Anna and finish off with Lidia. So, Fahkumram. Fahkumram's, I think, looks really good. You know, like, it fits Fahkumram. It blends in really well. It doesn't look out of place. The design is really nice. It looks like, at the end of the day, it looks like something that someone who is really passionate about Muay Thai would wear. And I appreciate that a lot. And I think that the design on the sides as well, even though it's been lifted, unlike a lot of other characters, really fits in with the trunks. And you got the thunder on top. Like, obviously, Fahkumram was being designed while they already knew that they were going to do this, and it really shows, right? Because everything that's going on here just fits so well. Like, look how this is actually symmetrical. Look how this actually lines up, unlike Victor's. The design is scaled perfectly with the swim trunk, so it doesn't feel like it's just slapped on there. It feels out of place. Whatever's written on the front and tie works well. Even the waistband, the colors on the waistband, they did a really good job on. And then you got the thunder on the back as well. That, again, makes it feel like it's like Muay Thai shorts. I think that this is like a 9 or a 10. I don't know if I'd quite go to a 10. I kind of want to go there because, again, it's just one of those things where I don't think you can do much bad for Fahkumram. And you can really tell that this was... like, they knew when designing Fahkumram that they were going to do this. So they had more time during the design phase to be like, okay, what are we going to do for this outfit? And it really shows. I mean, even like the accents at the bottom too look really good. I think I'm gonna go for a 10 on this. I really like this. Wait, I'm late. What was Lee's rating? Why wasn't it 10? Lee's was a 10 in terms of concept for haha funny joke, but I gave it like a 1 because, in my opinion, Lee's should have just been a funny free add-on that they gave to everyone, and in the summer outfit, Lee should have just gotten his own swim trunks, because having to pay $4 for that is kind of stupid. It's big and loud, just like the guy. Yeah, it's true. Thunder coming out his ass? 9 out of 10 for how accurate it is to real-life Muay Thai shorts. Exactly. That's how I see it, too. I give him 9 out of 10. Even if I hate him, the shorts are solid. Yeah, it looks really good. I like these a lot. And, you know, like, the other thing is, too, talk about it not standing out from, like, what he normally wears. Compare it to his defaults, right? It's different enough, but it looks like something he would wear, you know? His base shorts they are somewhat similar, for sure. Did I have a comparison with Google Translate? It says either thunder or lightning on the front. Gotcha. Just unfortunate that's reused assets from the defaults with the occasional ribbons. They didn't create anything. Yeah, I agree with you, but I think with what they were working with, a lot of them they did a really good job on. So I can forgive them a little bit. I just hope that in the future they have more unique designs that they have for the characters. But I think generally they did an okay job. Anna's, I think, is fantastic for one simple reason. This is the only one in the game that has transparency on the tops. And I think that's really cool. It looks great. It fits Anna super well. You have him on the top and the bottom. The design that goes along with it looks fantastic. I wish that every character had this. That I like this so much. I wish that every single character had this outfit. I would absolutely use this with Lidia. This is the easiest 10 out of 10. Even though it's just the red and black, it fits so well. It looks really good. And you say that I have to make Anna tan to make sure that's not just a texture. So let me do that, because I don't know. But if it's just a texture, they did a damn good job at it, doing it, and I do not care. But let's see. Nope, it is transparent. It is actually transparent. Nope, it is not a texture. It is just transparent. And I think it looks great. And this is also then the only bikini outfit in the game that has something unique that has been made specifically for the outfit. Now, yes, like the whole thing that's going on here is on her default outfit, but they had to like add that transparency to it to be able to make it work. Yeah, I think this is great. This is a 10 out of 10. I want more uniqueness. This is good. I agree. No, this is I don't think we need to talk about this like anymore. This is just this is really solid. This is the easiest 10 out of 10 for sure. This might be the best one just because it's unique. I think that Lili's looks the best, but with how unique that, like, you just can't. It looks so good. Yeah, and the transparency is on the default too. No, 100%. But the way that it's utilized in this outfit is so good. Lidia would rock Anna's her wife. Exactly. There's a lore reason why Lidia should have this outfit. I mean, I could just mod it, but yeah. Is on the bottoms on the side as well. Yup. There you go. It is on the side on the bottoms. Yeah. Anna's is a solid 10. It's really good. And last, we have Lidia. I have too many Lidia outfits. Lydia's, I've had a lot of Lidia players tell me that they don't like it. I'm sorry. I kind of dig it. The main problem I have with it is that it's actually really hard to change the colors on this one. But I actually really like this. The top, to start out, I think is really nice. I've always been a fan of the, like, symbolism and the cultural references that are on Lidia's outfit. They kept the red poppy, Poland's national flower, on the left side, and I think it works really well on here. I think it looks really nice. Then, of course, on the right, you have the eagle emblem, which I think fits really well on this. I really do. I think it looks great. And on top of that, all of this sort of texture that's on here where you have the, God, I don't know what you call it, but you know what I mean. Like the thing where you have the two colors clashing and it feels like it's just like painted on there and stuff. This whole thing I like a lot, and it looks fantastic on here. And I think all of this on the top looks stellar. I really like it. Again, it's not one of those things where there's a lot going on, but at the same time, it doesn't look too busy. And I think they've done a good job reusing like the patterns and the textures and the designs and everything, putting it on here, and it all looks really good. It looks like something Lidia would wear for sure, but it doesn't look like too over the top. Looks great. Now, the bottoms. She's freaking cut. She is, yeah. So the bottoms, I didn't like at first either. I think that the bottoms are like definitely a little bit less than the tops, right? And the top, it makes the top kind of feel like there's too much going on. But I think the idea, I'm not a big on the black stripe. Here's the thing. I think I figured out what the black stripe is. I think that the idea is these are supposed to look like they are, like sport bottoms, right? So I think the idea with the black stripe is that they're supposed to look more elastic so that they're more sporty. Does that make sense? So at first I didn't like it either because it kind of felt like out of place and weird, and there's just not a lot going on. But I think that's the idea, and that's why you have the two stripes as well. It's a karate black belt, I think. I mean, it could also be that too. It might be both. I don't know. Whatever the case, the more I look at it, the more I'm okay with it. And like, again, whatever the case is supposed to be, whatever it's supposed to represent, it could be the karate belt. It could make the bottoms look more like sports swim trunks or something, or a sports like bikini or whatever. I think it works, especially because of how it comes out in the sides. So it looks like an elastic waistband, and I think that looks fine. Now, that said, I wish that there was a little bit more going on with the bottoms. But I also recognize that this is like whatever they're trying to do, whether it's those things or both of those things, they're clearly trying to do something with those. And it would also be kind of weird if you just threw an image right here or right here. So I kind of understand why they just did that and left it there. And I also don't think, like, I guess what they could have done is something like this, or they could have had like the pattern that's going on here on the bottoms or something like that. That would have been cool. You could have just had that all over the bottoms. They could have done a little bit more, but the more I think about it, the more I'm actually okay with it, and the more I think it actually does fit her. And I think that Lidia wouldn't want to have like a ton going on with those, and I think it works really well. I like it a lot. I'm giving it a 10. Personal bias 100%. Hi Valtil. Hello. I came in, the camera's right on her booba. Whatever the pattern, I always like Lidia in a bikini. Showing full appreciation of her musculature. Button match like her karate belt. I mean, I can take a look at the karate belt real quick and see. Oh yeah, it is, because it has the two things here. That is 100% what it is. But still, like the point I'm trying to make too is that it serves both of those purposes, right? Whether it's that's intentional or not, it does make it look like an elastic band, which I think looks good. I think it works really well. Yeah, I mean, whatever the case, it works for her. Only real problem is it makes me scared seeing the muscles. Yikes. You're afraid she's gonna beat you up, huh? Me, I welcome it. We're not the same. They usually need us to give us the option to turn off subsurface scattering, for fuck's sake. They do. They need to give us a... Hopefully that's something that's in the next update, like they said, but they were changing some things. I'd watch her crush a watermelon. All right, and that's going to do it for all of the swimsuits. That is every single one of them rated and reviewed. I mean, yeah, in general, I think that these are actually pretty good. You know, there are definitely some that stand out, but just like everything else with Tekken players, you know, at the beginning of Season 2, we saw like Jax clapping Lars while running 1, and everyone loses their minds, even though generally it wasn't like, it wasn't that bad, and it's gotten better over time. And even when it comes to outfits as well, Tekken players just see like Lars and Paul's and a couple of these really bad ones, latch onto those and say, this shit sucks. But generally speaking, I think that these are really good. You know, like we have some great ones, like Anna's is great. Alisa's, I think, is really good. Asuka's is funny. And, you know, of course, there's some bad ones. Nina's is pretty bad. Paul and Lars pretty bad. Shaheen's isn't great. Steve, England! But, and then obviously there are the ones I'm going to shame. Hold on, let me turn on my phone real quick. Brian, Claudio, Kazuya, King, Yoshi, Eddie, Clive, Heihachi, Jin, and Leroy that are extremely lazy and trash. And I think at the end of the day, the male ones, really bad, right? I like almost all of them. There are a couple of exceptions. There are a couple that are really good. There was 1 10 out of 10. Who was the 10 out of 10? Hwoarang, I think, was a 10 out of 10. Really good. Most of them were bad. They really need to work on that. But for the women, all of them except Nina's were really good. Genuinely. Like, all the women's, I think are worth the $4. I think they put, for the most part, put a lot of care, a lot of time, a lot of detail into them, put some thought into them, and they all generally look really good except for Nina's. The men obviously leave a lot more to be desired. Again, there are some good ones. Fahkumram's good. Hwoarang is good. But there are definitely more that are bad or lazy or just, like, feel incomplete than the women. You know, like, again, Dragunov looks good. Devil Jin looks decent. But Lars it looks like it was done by a kindergartner. So, I hope in the future they clear up some of those things. I hope that they work on this in the future and make it so it feels a little bit less rushed. You have more that look like, you know, Lilies and Annas, and have more of them that, even if you're using textures, there's a lot of creative space to make ones that look unique, feel unique to the character. And I hope they keep doing this in the future, because it's a hell of a lot better than just reusing assets from Tekken 5 and 6. So anyway, that's my review of the swimsuits in Tekken 8. Hopefully we're going to have some on Halloween so I can do this again. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.